Most people think the secret to better health is hidden in expensive supplements, complicated diets, or routines that take hours. But what if the truth is much simpler? What if one of the most powerful ways to protect your heart, sharpen your brain, slow aging, and rebuild your body from the inside out is found in something so ordinary, so familiar that you may have completely overlooked it? For centuries, millions of people have consumed it daily without realizing they were feeding their body one of nature's most advanced healing molecules. It's not a magic pill. It's not a trend. It's not a detox. It's green tea. And inside, it lives a molecule so powerful, scientists call it a cellular command signal. Today, we're going to break down how just one simple daily habit can ignite your body's natural defense systems, restore balance to your metabolism, protect your blood vessels, and support longevity in ways science is only now beginning to understand. If you've ever wondered how a single drink can create such a ripple effect through your biology, stay with me. Because once you understand what EGCG does inside your cells, you'll never look at this ancient drink the same way again. When you slice open a tomato, you see something familiar, a juicy red interior, small seeds, and the scent of something fresh and simple. But hidden inside this everyday fruit is a molecule so powerful that scientists around the world study it for its ability to protect the human body from some of our most dangerous diseases. This molecule is called lycopene, and it's what gives tomatoes their vibrant red color. But the color is only the beginning of its story. Lycopene is one of nature's strongest antioxidants. If you imagine your body as a city, then every day fires are burning on a microscopic level. These fires are caused by free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells, weaken tissues, accelerate aging, and create the perfect environment for disease. Your skin wrinkles faster, your arteries stiffen, your immune system slows down. It's like your inner city is constantly under attack. Lycopene acts like the elite fire department that rushes in and puts out these internal fires. It stabilizes harmful molecules before they can cause damage, repairing cells and restoring balance. This is one of the reasons people who consistently eat tomatoes tend to have lower markers of inflammation and better long-term health outcomes. But the real breakthrough happened when researchers discovered something remarkable. Lycopene doesn't just neutralize free radicals. It can influence angiogenesis, the process by which your body grows new blood vessels. Angiogenesis is an essential biological process. You need it to heal wounds, grow tissues, and maintain organs. But like many things, too much angiogenesis becomes a problem. When blood vessels grow in places they shouldn't, especially inside tumors, they feed harmful cells, helping them grow and spread. This is one of the core principles behind cancer progression. Now here's where tomatoes become extraordinary. Lycopene has naturally occurring anti-angiogenic properties. This means it can help prevent the abnormal blood vessel growth that fuels cancer. Instead of feeding tumors, lycopene helps starve them. It blocks the signals tumors use to call for new blood supply. This discovery changed the way scientists looked at simple foods like tomatoes. They weren't just nutrient sources anymore. They were biological tools with the power to influence disease pathways inside the human body. Patients who consumed more lycopene-rich foods showed stronger defenses against cancers such as prostate, lung, gastric, and breast cancer. And what fascinates researchers even more is that this protection comes without side effects, without medication, and without needing large doses. But tomatoes don't stop at cancer protection. Lycopene has a profound effect on the heart, the very engine that keeps you alive. Inside your arteries, cholesterol particles can oxidize when exposed to inflammation and free radicals. Think of oxidation like rust on metal. It weakens structure and creates damage. When LDL cholesterol oxidizes, it becomes much more dangerous. It sticks to artery walls, forms plaque, narrows blood flow, and raises the risk of heart attack and stroke. Lycopene stops this oxidation before it ever becomes a problem. It protects LDL from turning into its harmful form. It keeps arteries clean, flexible, and resilient. It is like placing a protective shield inside your cardiovascular system. In fact, in several long-term population studies, people with the highest levels of lycopene in their blood had a dramatically lower risk of heart disease, their arteries functioned better, and their endothelial cells, the delicate lining inside blood vessels, performed more efficiently. These cells control blood pressure, clotting, and inflammation, and tomatoes support all three. But lycopene isn't acting alone. Tomatoes contain other compounds that work together, creating a synergistic effect. Beta-carotene, quercetin, potassium, lutein, these nutrients form a network of protection, each one enhancing the effects of the others. It's like an orchestra where lycopene is the lead violinist, but every instrument contributes to the beauty of the performance. Now, to understand the power of tomatoes, imagine a scenario. Two individuals live similar lifestyles. They both walk daily. They both try to eat reasonably well, but one of them includes tomatoes consistently in salads, soups, cooked dishes, sauces. Over the years, the difference becomes measurable. The tomato eater has lower inflammation, cleaner arteries, better skin elasticity, slower cellular aging, more stable blood pressure, stronger immune activity, lower cancer risk. These improvements aren't dramatic overnight transformations. They're subtle, steady shifts inside the body, tiny repairs happening day after day, adding up to something powerful. This is the quiet magic of lycopene. You don't feel it working, but it is working continuously. And here's a detail most people never hear. Lycopene is stored in your body's fatty tissues and in organs like the liver, adrenal glands, and prostate. That means your body actively pulls lycopene in, almost as if it recognizes how valuable it is. But it also means that your levels drop if you don't consume it regularly. Your body uses it to defend you daily, so you need to replenish it daily. Tomatoes are also unique because their lycopene becomes even more bioavailable, meaning easier for your body to absorb when cooked. Most fruits lose nutrients when heated, but tomatoes become stronger, richer, more powerful. Traditional dishes like tomato soup, tomato paste, sauces, curries, and stews suddenly become disease-fighting meals. This is why cultures with tomato-heavy diets often have excellent cardiovascular health and longevity. The Mediterranean diet, for example, uses tomatoes in ways that optimize their full potential. Combined with olive oil, lycopene absorption skyrockets. A simple plate of tomatoes with olive oil is effectively a natural medicine, one that has been served for generations without anyone realizing the profound biological impact happening beneath the surface. There's another layer to this story, one that connects to immunity. Within your immune system, your white blood cells fight off infections, destroy harmful bacteria, and protect you from environmental toxins. Lycopene strengthens these immune cells. It supports their structure, stabilizes their membranes, and reduces the inflammatory stress they experience daily. Stronger immune cells mean stronger immunity. Researchers have found that people who eat tomatoes regularly have better antioxidant levels in their bloodstream and stronger resistance to viral and bacterial threats. Their internal defense system stays sharper, younger, and more efficient. And perhaps the most surprising part, lycopene protects your DNA. Inside every cell, your DNA is constantly under attack by oxidative stress. Over time, this damage leads to mutations, aging, and disease. Lycopene shields your DNA strands, reducing damage and supporting healthy cell replication. This is one of the reasons tomatoes are considered an anti-aging food, not because they make you look younger on the outside, but because they keep your cells younger on the inside. All of this brings us to one simple idea. Tomatoes are not just food. They are biochemical instructions. When you eat them, you are telling your body to reduce inflammation, to block harmful blood vessel growth, to protect your heart, to strengthen your immunity, and to repair cellular damage. And the best part? This healing doesn't come from a lab. It comes from a red fruit you can slice in seconds. Tomatoes are humble. They grow anywhere. They blend into meals easily, yet inside them is one of the most potent molecules ever discovered in nutritional science. Lycopene isn't just a nutrient, it's a guardian, and every tomato you eat is a message to your body: heal, protect, restore. That is the power hidden inside this ordinary fruit. Aging is something we all feel in our skin, our energy, our joints, and even in the way our body handles stress. But what most people never realize is that aging isn't just the number of candles on your birthday cake. It's a biological process happening deep inside your cells every single day. And one of the biggest accelerators of aging is something we're all exposed to constantly: oxidative stress. Sunlight, pollution, emotional stress, poor sleep, processed foods, all of these create free radicals that attack your cells, break down collagen, weaken tissues, and make your skin lose its firmness and glow. When these small attacks happen over many years, the visible signs appear: fine lines, wrinkles, uneven texture, age spots. Most people reach for creams, serums, or expensive treatments to fix what's happening on the surface. But real anti-aging doesn't start on the outside. It starts from within. This is where tomatoes become extraordinary. Tomatoes are one of the richest natural sources of lycopene, and lycopene is one of the most effective antioxidants ever discovered for protecting the skin from aging. What makes it special isn't just its strength, although lycopene is up to 10 times more powerful than vitamin E, but its ability to accumulate directly in the skin. Think about that. Your body actively delivers lycopene to your skin cells, the very cells most exposed to sunlight, pollution, and environmental damage. It's like your body knows where the danger is and sends its best soldiers there first. When researchers studied people who regularly ate tomatoes, they were surprised to find that their skin was naturally more resistant to UV radiation, the biggest cause of premature aging. Their skin didn't burn as easily. Their cells showed less structural damage. Their DNA was better protected. It was almost as if their skin had built-in sunscreen. But lycopene doesn't stop damage. It also repairs. In the deeper layers of your skin, collagen acts like a scaffold, keeping your face firm, lifted, and youthful. When collagen breaks down, the structure weakens and wrinkles form. Vitamin C, also found in tomatoes, is essential for building new collagen fibers. Without it, your body simply cannot produce collagen properly. When you combine lycopene's protective ability with vitamin C's regenerative power, tomatoes deliver a unique 1-2 punch. They prevent damage from happening, and they help rebuild what's already been weakened. Now think about this in everyday terms. Imagine two people who spend the same amount of time outside, face the same stress, and live in the same environment. One eats tomatoes daily. The other rarely eats them. After months and years, the difference becomes visible. The tomato eater has smoother skin, more even complexion, fewer fine lines, less redness, slower aging. Not because they used expensive products, but because their skin was being protected and repaired every day from the inside, and that's only the beginning. Inside your skin, inflammation plays a huge role in aging. Chronic low-level inflammation, sometimes called silent inflammation, gradually damages skin cells and speeds up the aging clock. Tomatoes are naturally anti-inflammatory. The compounds inside them calm the biochemical reactions that break down cells and accelerate aging. There's also another fascinating effect. Tomatoes help reduce oxidative stress inside the mitochondria, the little power plants inside your cells. Your mitochondria produce energy, and the more efficiently they work, the younger your cells remain. Lycopene stabilizes mitochondrial membranes, keeping them strong and protected. When your mitochondria function well, your skin doesn't just look better, it behaves younger. But perhaps the most surprising anti-aging effect of tomatoes is their ability to protect your DNA. Every day, UV rays, stress, and toxins cause small breaks in your DNA. Over time, these tiny injuries accumulate, leading to accelerated aging and dysfunction. Tomatoes contain phytonutrients that shield DNA from fragmentation. They help maintain the integrity of your genetic material, the blueprint that keeps every cell functioning properly. Fewer breaks mean slower aging. It's that simple. This ability makes tomatoes not just a skin food, but a longevity food. Let's go deeper into how this translates into everyday life. When you eat tomatoes, lycopene travels through your bloodstream, gets absorbed by your skin cells, and forms a protective layer around them. This natural barrier reduces the harmful effects of ultraviolet radiation, something sunscreen can't do internally. Studies show that people who ate tomato paste for just 10 to 12 weeks had significantly less UV-induced redness and damage compared to those who didn't. Their skin didn't just look better, it was biologically stronger. Think of it like reinforcing a building before a storm. The structure becomes harder to damage. And tomatoes also give your skin something incredibly important: hydration. Tomatoes are about 95% water, but what matters more is that their water content is electrolyte rich, containing potassium and small amounts of minerals. This helps your skin maintain moisture better from within, giving you that fresh, healthy glow. Have you ever noticed how some people naturally look hydrated and radiant even without makeup? Their secret might be their diet, not their skincare routine. And here's where tomatoes become even more powerful. Cooked tomatoes deliver more lycopene than raw ones. When you cook tomatoes, whether in soup, sauce, curry, or roasted, the heat breaks down the tomato cell walls, releasing more lycopene into a form your body can absorb easily. Combine tomatoes with a healthy fat like olive oil or avocado, and the absorption multiplies. Lycopene is fat soluble, so it needs a fat carrier to enter your cells efficiently. This is one reason Mediterranean cultures have such youthful longevity. Their classic meals naturally pair tomatoes with olive oil. A simple bowl of tomato soup with a drizzle of olive oil isn't just comforting, it's scientifically anti-aging. Now let's look beyond skin. Aging isn't only visible on the outside, it happens inside your organs, your blood vessels, your joints, and your immune system. Lycopene protects these inner systems the same way it protects your skin, by reducing oxidative stress, calming inflammation, and supporting cellular repair. Your body ages slower because damage accumulates slower. You feel it in your energy, you see it in your skin, you notice it in your recovery after stress or illness. That's the subtle power of tomatoes. There's also the emotional side of aging. Looking older, feeling less confident, or noticing changes in your skin can influence how you see yourself. And while beauty products can offer temporary help, nothing replaces the confidence that comes from knowing your body is healthy from the inside out. Tomatoes give you that from within, silently, daily, without effort. And here's something powerful. Your skin reflects your internal health. People often think glowing skin is genetic or random, but in many cases, it's simply a sign of reduced inflammation and balanced oxidative stress. When your cells are healthy, your skin becomes a mirror of that internal vitality. Tomatoes help create that vitality. So the next time you look at your reflection and wonder how to keep your skin youthful, remember that the answer may not be in a bottle. It may be in the foods you put on your plate. A salad with fresh tomatoes, a bowl of pasta with tomato sauce, a spoonful of tomato paste in a stew, a roasted tomato with olive oil. These are not just meals. They are daily decisions that shape how your skin ages. Tomatoes don't work by force. They work by nourishment, by supporting the natural intelligence of your body, by empowering your cells to function at their best. And that's why tomatoes are one of the most remarkable anti-aging foods ever discovered. They don't promise miracles. They deliver biology, they deliver protection, they deliver renewal. And every tomato you choose to eat becomes a small, powerful investment, one that pays off on your skin, your health, and your future. Your heart beats more than 100,000 times a day. It works quietly, tirelessly, and without asking for thanks. But in today's modern world, with stress, processed foods, pollution, and inflammatory lifestyles, the heart is under constant pressure. Many people don't realize that the first signs of heart damage often appear decades before symptoms show up. A little stiffness here, a little inflammation there, a bit of oxidative stress that slowly chips away at the health of your arteries. By the time a person feels chest pain, shortness of breath, or fatigue, the problem has usually been growing silently for years. But one of the most surprising discoveries in nutritional science is how something as simple as a tomato can protect the heart from this silent breakdown. Not in a symbolic or metaphorical way, but at a biological cellular level. Every time you eat tomatoes, a series of protective events begins inside your cardiovascular system, and it all starts with lycopene, the molecule we explored earlier. Lycopene doesn't just defend your skin or reduce inflammation, it's deeply active in your arteries, the channels that deliver life to every organ in your body. Inside the walls of your arteries, there's a thin, delicate lining known as the endothelium. These endothelial cells control blood pressure, blood flow, clotting, and inflammation. When the endothelium is healthy, your blood vessels function like flexible, responsive highways. They expand and contract effortlessly. They keep blood moving smoothly. But when the endothelium becomes damaged through poor diet, stress, smoking, pollution, or chronic inflammation, your arteries become stiff, inflamed, and narrowed. This is how heart disease begins. Tomatoes play a remarkable role in protecting this fragile inner lining. Lycopene integrates into the endothelial cell membranes and acts as a shield, lowering oxidative stress and stabilizing the environment inside the arteries. When you think of oxidative stress, imagine sparks hitting a soft surface. Over time, the surface burns and weakens. Lycopene removes the sparks before they do damage. This single action has incredible downstream effects. Arteries stay flexible. Blood pressure stays more stable. Blood vessels respond better to changes in activity and temperature. Your circulation improves not because of medication, but because the very structure of your arteries is being protected on a molecular level. But tomatoes go even further. One of the biggest drivers of heart disease is the oxidation of LDL cholesterol. LDL itself isn't the enemy. Your body needs it. The problem occurs when LDL particles become oxidized. Oxidized LDL is sticky, unstable, and inflammatory. It attaches to the walls of your arteries, forms plaque, and narrows your blood flow. Think of LDL as harmless cargo floating down a river, but once oxidized, it becomes debris that sticks to the riverbanks, slowly clogging the flow. Lycopene stops this oxidation before it begins. It stabilizes cholesterol particles, preventing them from morphing into their dangerous form. In people who consume tomatoes regularly, blood tests consistently show lower levels of oxidized LDL. Their arteries have less plaque, less stiffness, and less inflammation. Their heart has a lighter workload. Population studies tell the same story. Groups of people who eat more lycopene-rich foods have a lower risk of heart attacks and strokes, not by a small margin, but significantly lower. Their arteries age slower. Their cardiovascular system stays younger for longer. Now, calcium buildup inside the arteries, arterial calcification, is another silent threat. It hardens arteries and increases the risk of heart disease dramatically. Tomatoes help slow this process too. The antioxidants in tomatoes reduce the inflammatory signals that lead calcium to deposit in artery walls. When inflammation stays low, arteries remain soft and flexible. But tomatoes don't only act on arteries, they influence blood itself. The natural compounds in tomatoes reduce platelet aggregation, which is the clumping of blood cells that can lead to dangerous clots. Healthy blood flow means fewer blockages, fewer strokes, and better overall circulation. This is why people who consume tomatoes regularly have smoother blood flow, better exercise tolerance, and lower risk of clot-related events. Their blood behaves more like a steady river, not a sticky, clotted one. Tomatoes also contain potassium, an essential mineral that helps regulate blood pressure. Potassium counterbalances sodium. When potassium is high and sodium is balanced, your body releases excess fluid, reducing strain on the heart. Many people walk around with subtle fluid retention and don't even realize their heart is working harder than it should. A diet rich in tomatoes naturally corrects this imbalance. Then there is the surprising connection between tomatoes and the autonomic nervous system, the system that regulates heart rate. Lycopene reduces the stress load on the nervous system, helping stabilize heart rhythm and reducing spikes in stress-induced blood pressure. Think of it as calming the electrical wiring of your cardiovascular system. And something else remarkable happens when tomatoes become part of your daily diet. Inflammation markers drop. C-reactive protein, CRP, IL-6, TNF-alpha, All key indicators of chronic inflammation decrease in individuals who regularly consume tomatoes or tomato-based foods. Chronic inflammation is one of the biggest contributors to heart disease. It damages cells, triggers plaque formation, and accelerates arterial aging. When inflammation goes down, the entire cardiovascular system becomes more resilient. But one of the most beautiful aspects of tomatoes is how their benefits multiply when combined with certain foods. Olive oil, for example, doesn't just help absorb lycopene, it enhances its effect on blood vessels. The Mediterranean diet, famous for its heart protective properties, naturally pairs tomatoes with healthy fats, herbs, and vegetables. This combination becomes a powerful protective system. Something as simple as tomato soup with olive oil or tomato curry with spices turns into a heart-supporting medicine. People often underestimate how much small, consistent dietary choices affect cardiovascular health. But imagine this. Two people live similar lifestyles. Both work hard, deal with stress, live busy lives. One includes tomatoes daily in soups, sauces, salads, stews. The other eats them occasionally. After years, their hearts tell completely different stories. The tomato eater has cleaner arteries, more flexible vessels, better blood flow, lower inflammation, lower blood pressure, reduced clotting risk, and a significantly lower chance of heart disease. Not because of fortune or genetics, but because every single day, their food became part of their defense system. Tomatoes aren't dramatic. They don't claim to heal overnight. Their power is steady, gentle, cumulative. They work quietly, protecting the heart from wear and tear, from inflammation, from oxidation, from the silent threats that build over decades. Tomatoes heal the heart in the same way the heart works for you, consistently, patiently, without asking for recognition. That is the gift they offer. A simple, delicious food that keeps the engine of your life strong and steady day after day. If you ask world-class longevity researchers what truly keeps a person biologically young, they won't tell you it's a supplement or a 30-day challenge or a complicated diet you can't stick to. They'll tell you something much simpler: consistency. A small, repeatable ritual that quietly reshapes your biology every single day. And green tea, specifically its hero molecule EGCG, is one of the most powerful daily rituals ever discovered for protecting your cells, repairing your tissues, and extending your health span. But to understand why, you need to understand something deep within your biology.